We have the AFC and NFC championship games this coming weekend. Now, the Buffalo Bills, they escaped the Baltimore Ravens in a really disappointing divisional game last week, and the Chiefs escaped the Browns. And that game was thrilling, and Chad Henne won it for them in the fourth quarter. But now the Bills are playing the Chiefs in a game that I think a lot of people have been looking forward to for a while. This was the game that I thought would be the best AFC championship game possible. Maybe the Ravens and the Chiefs would be also interesting, but for whatever reason, Lamar Jackson and the Ravens can't figure it out in the playoffs. They score 13 points a game when Lamar Jackson's the quarterback in the playoffs. That's not going to get it done against any team that's any good. So the Bills and the Chiefs are that's a great matchup in the AFC Championship, and it's a quarterback matchup. Assuming Patrick Mahomes can play, he took an ugly shot. Well, he didn't take an ugly shot. He took a shot against the Browns from linebacker Mack Wilson. He got up, was visibly groggy. He couldn't stand up straight. He was very concussed, and he missed a quarter and a half of that game. And if Patrick Mahomes plays, which I think would happen, I cannot see a scenario where he doesn't play. Um, the Chiefs should win this game and move on to the Super Bowl. The Bills, in towards the end of the regular season, were looking like world beaters. They were clapping teams left and right. They hung 56 points on the Miami Dolphins in Week 17. I mean, that's brutal, you know. Um, the problem with the Bills is, as we've seen in the past couple playoff games, they don't have a running game. Um, they they didn't even try to run the ball against the Baltimore Ravens. They ran only pass plays. They ran 25 pass plays in the first quarter. That's not going to beat the Chiefs. Uh, the Ravens have a great defense, but Lamar Jackson could not manufacture points. They were terrible in the red zone. They could not manufacture points in the red zone in that game, and the Bills won, scoring 17 points. That's not going to cut it against the Chiefs. The Chiefs looked like world beaters against the Browns when Patrick Mahomes was not concussed. They were moving the ball up and down the field at will. They look like the Chiefs that we all know and love and have grown to fear. Those playoff Chiefs that can just turn it on. They're the Golden State Warriors in 2018, 2017. They're unbeatable, and they know they're unbeatable, and they can sleepwalk at times, but everybody knows they're the best team left in the playoffs. Uh, the Chiefs will move on to the Super Bowl in that game. The other game in the NFC Championship is the Buccaneers and the Packers. And this is, well, you've got young quarterbacks in the AFC Championship, Mahomes versus Josh Allen. You've got Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady in the NFC Championship. It's the old heads that still have it. Tom Brady is 43 years old, working on perhaps one of the best seasons ever, considering his age, considering he's in Tampa Bay, where he doesn't have a Hall of Fame coach. He doesn't have a Hall of Fame offensive line coach. His defense isn't as good as it had been for years with New England. He is installing Tom Brady culture in Tampa Bay, and they are winning, and they're one game away from the Super Bowl. Whereas Aaron Rodgers is going to win the MVP, pass for 48 touchdowns, which is just absurd. And he's doing it with one number one receiver and a running back and a decent offensive line. But he has one receiver. He doesn't. Alan Lazard and Marquez Valdez-Scantling are not even number twos. They're number three receivers. And Robert Tonyan, we didn't know who he was until this season. So Aaron Rodgers is elevating those around him, and he's playing at an all-world level. So we get Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers in the NFC Championship game in Lambeau, and it's been a storybook season, storybook playoffs for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, but I can't see them beating the Packers in Lambeau. Aaron Rodgers is hot. He is white hot, and they are cooking. in Green Bay. Matt LaFleur and that offense they have it figured out. I thought last week coming off a bye they might be rusty. It was cold, and it seemed like maybe they would be like one step slower than normal this past week, and they were not. They hung 32 points on the number one Rams defense against Aaron Donald and Jalen Ramsey. And when you know that Aaron Rodgers is going to throw the ball to Devontae Adams as Jalen Ramsey, the best quarterback in the NFL, you would think that they would be able to stop him, and they didn't. He hung 4 touchdowns on them. They scored 32 points against the number one defense. The Buccaneers defense is not going to do any better. You're going to have to outscore Green Bay in Lambeau Field, and it might be snowing. And we've already seen what Green Bay can do in the snow. They don't slow down. So I can't see the Buccaneers outscoring Green Bay in Lambeau Field, maybe in the snow this coming Sunday. I don't see that happening. So Green Bay wins in Lambeau, and we have a Green Bay, Kansas City Chiefs Super Bowl.